Now we're going to return back to 11A. Approve an ordinance approving exterior appearance plans, site plans for the property located at 26-32 First Street. Plan Commission case number A11 2008. How do we want to start this?
I'll make
Michael,
a motion to approve.
Yeah, people who are standing in the back, there's plenty of seats up front, so please don't feel like you're going to have to stand for the next however many hours this is going to last.
Buddy,
I'll make a motion to approve.
anything else from anybody? Is there a second to his motion?
Second.
Okay, first and a second. What say ye? Anybody? Nothing?
I don't think we should be voting. I think it should be moved to the next board.
Well then, what are you going to do about it?
I want to ask where you invoke Rule 7.
There needs to be two of you.
I'll invoke Rule 7.
First,
So, Rule
I've
7
already
is...
made a motion to approve, and that
But,
was seconded. So that's the motion on the floor.
But Rule 7 supersedes that, I've been told. And this now will be moved to the
Rule
first meeting in May, which is on May 5th.
Rule 7 is Rule 7 specifically states. Let me read Rule 7. Rule 7 states that a report to the board can be continued. This is not a report. This isn't an ordinance. Rule 7 does not is not. This doesn't fall under Rule 7. I mean, this is not a report. This has already been to committee. It's already been dealt with. So I don't see how we can invoke Rule 7 on something that isn't a report.
I speak to that. I've got Rule 7 in front of me. I'll just read it. Any report to the Board of Trustees shall be deferred for final action. No reports or action are taken on reports, so it would pertain to what is in front of us. To the next regular meeting of the village board after the report is made upon the request of any two trustees present, and two trustees present have made such a request. So
That says clearly any report. This is not a report. Look at our agenda. You'll see that the reports are staff reports, things like that.
And
this is agenda items. This is not a report.
Point of order, Mr. President. I believe I have the floor, right?
Yes, you do.
So I'd ask you to rule on that, and I believe you already did, that Rule 7 supersedes the motion on the floor and is in effect. But should you change your mind, that's up to you. I'd also point out for the President's benefit that the last time he engaged Rule 7 was April 5th of 2005 on a similar project along with...
Just because we did it once doesn't
Excuse me,
mean
I have
it's
the floor. Excuse me. He invoked Rule 7 on the same project along with a trustee in the room, former trustee, Trustee Johnson, if she's still here. And it was moved to the next meeting. So...
I think the Rule 7 supersedes. The only other thing I would be willing to entertain right now is to adjourn into closed session and work this out if you want to do that.
I'll make a second motion. I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules, which can be done with 4 votes.
No, that's out of order. It's my opinion as the chair that Rule 7 takes precedence over anything else. The only other thing I would consider is a motion to go into closed session to discuss this amongst ourselves. If nobody makes that motion, I will take the Rule 7 motion, and this will be brought up at the May 5th meeting. That's what we have on the table here.
We can also make a motion to suspend the rules, and I would like to make a motion
that
to overrule that rule, which can be done with 4 votes.
I will not recognize that. I'm not going to recognize that. And as I said, the Rule 7 will take precedence. I will take a motion to go into closed session to discuss this amongst ourselves, or we're going to move on to item 14 quickly.
Excuse me, if I may have the floor, I'd be happy
Go back to
perhaps answer your
Trustee
question and the attempted motion of Mr. Schultz. 1-6-6 Rules of Order. The following rules of order shall be in cases be adhered to, but the same may be suspended when no objections are made or upon the vote of majority of the board, except Rules 4, 7, and 12. So even with if we all voted to suspend the rules, Rules 4, 7, and 12 cannot be suspended.
Okay,
according to our village code.
The way the chair, the way I'm going to stay with what I said. This has happened 2 or 3 times now since I've been on this board. Rule 7, in my mind, clearly states that 2 trustees can push this to the next meeting. This will be dealt with on the May 5th meeting, and it will be voted on. I will check 2 or 3 times with legal counsel, whether it will be voted on my watch or future President Colley's watch, President-elect Colley, Tom Colley. What are you calling yourself? Okay, but sometime in the evening of May 5th, this will be voted on under my watch or President Colley's watch.